2 years ago, there were elections in Massachusetts, and many of the people in this room were elected for the first time, and I think it was the biggest Latino electoral wave in the state's history, Andy Vargas being one of them, among others. So I'm looking out to see if in the next elections there will be an even bigger wave, and it seems like that may be. So I'm here to tell a story about, about my daughter, Gabriela. As a reporter, the interview is at the center of everything we do. If I'm not doing an interview, I'm setting one up, or transcribing one, or hoping somebody will give me one when it hasn't happened. I was doing an interview in the Back Bay. For those of you who aren't from Boston, it's a very upscale neighborhood in this city. And I'm interviewing a pastor for a story that I'm working on, completely unrelated, when through my headphones, I hear a word referred to, not from the pastor, but from a random guy, a word referred to as the atomic bomb of racial slurs. And I turned around, and it was a white man who was addressing a black man, and he had said, N-word, hey, N-word, 3 times, and get back on the sidewalk where you belong. And I realized I had this on tape. What to do with it? What is news? This was the question, a constant question we ask ourselves. Should I do anything with it? Should I fold it into the story that I was working on about this pastor in Boston? So I went back to the newsroom and I showed it to my editor, and he said, we have to do a story with it. And I agreed. So we decided to put it into the context of the discussion on race relations in Boston in 2017. And there's a lot of context to be had there, by the way. And then another important question arose, one of the most interesting conversations I've had in my journalistic career, and that was whether we should bleep the offensive language. And I, as a Latino male who's never been called that, I didn't feel qualified to make this decision. And I didn't want just for a small group of editors to make the decision either, so I said we should open it up inside the newsroom, outside of the newsroom, and really check in and see where people are on this question. And without exception, everybody said you need to run it. This is your story. You need to run it, let people hear what happened, racism in broad daylight in the streets of Boston. And I realized at that point that this is why I do what I do as a journalist in this city, to bear witness. And my job isn't to advocate, my job isn't to denounce what happened, but my job is to tell the stories. And provide the context so that people can understand where we're at. And so I want to say thank you. My name is Simón Rios, and this is how I amplify.